Well, first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Here's the leading rusher amongst rookies last season, Najee Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Saints now at 2-5 to start play. And they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again.
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. The 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
On second down, this is Harris. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And here's Mills. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Tyler Newsome now. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. First carry for the rookie from LSU, Ty Davis-Price. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jackson now. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Going up top. And incomplete on the deep ball.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Play action now. Mills. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. That one goes for 24 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mills. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On play action, Mills. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
And this throw will be intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Escaping the pressure right. That's caught downfield by Pickens. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. George Pickens, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Saints nothing. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be second down.
26-yard line.
19 Tiger.
Harris running straight ahead, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Third and 11, and some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Here's Tyler Newsome now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
To try again after the sack. Jackson, he'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Mills throw. It's complete into the hands of Higbee. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mills.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And some room to roam now. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
York now for the extra point.
And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Raiders 21, Saints nothing. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You
down.
don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated. Chris Jones is one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, and I think he's at his best when he plays defensive tackle. Consistently gets to the quarterback, 9 sacks in 2021.
After the sack on first down, Jackson.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
2nd and 8. Throwing, Mills.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through.
And the route is on. It's 24-0.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions.
He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
And the Raiders will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Davis Price hit, and he fumbles it.
And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
Rohrwasser's kick is good.
And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
On the return, the Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Third quarter starts with a run by Davis Price. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And he's got room. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 29-yard line. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. First down, and they go right back to Davis Price. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? It looks like they're ready to go.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Davis Price will try to pick it up. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 2nd down. Here's Davis Price. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Cortland Sutton with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Set to kick off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Here's Mills.
And able to find Higbee. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Mills on first down.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And my goodness, another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
2nd down, and again it's Davis Price.
Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 36 yards on the play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Davis Price once more.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
Pickens on the slant. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Davis Price on 1st and 10.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Tackle made by Kaiser White. You know he can fly to the ball, and he showed it there.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd down, and again it's Davis Price.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
DC, right? No, we changed it.
From the gun, Jackson. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Cortland Sutton from 4 yards out. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken it around the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 46-yard line.
Ready?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll run again with Harris. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Looking to throw is Mills. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Jawan Bentley, the one to get in and finish off the play.
Here comes the Saints punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 164 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And they will take a knee here.
Come on, come on. Hey.
And they take a knee. The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Las Vegas,
they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.